Hey guys, it's Jenny here. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to be getting into my April wrap-up. I really did not finish as many books as I wanted to, and a majority of them were audiobooks or poetry collections, but what can a girl do? 9 books. I guess let's just jump right into it. So the first one was Petals of the Moon by C. Churchill, which was a poetry collection. This was alright. It wasn't anything spectacular. It didn't blow me away. The cover's beautiful. Some of the poems were beautiful. The words she used were beautiful. But, it just felt kind of repetitive. Oh, that's interesting. She's from Michigan. Her father died when she was a child. Her husband was murdered. Wow. Okay. Well, that's morbid. But yeah, like I said, things just started to feel a little bit repetitive, and it just felt a little bit lackluster compared to some of the poetry collections I've read. So I think I ended up giving that like a 3 stars, question mark. I'm sorry if I can't remember star ratings. It's been a really long month. And I didn't write them down. So yeah, then I read Break Your Glass Slippers by Amanda Lovelace, which is, I think, the first book in her new series. Let's see. You Are Your Own Fairy Tale series. So this is the first collection. I absolutely adored this. I felt like so many messages in this that girls just really need to hear more. This was just a really important book, and I absolutely loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. I'm so excited for the rest of the collections to come out. I'm just so excited. And then I finished Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling, which was my first reread of this book, and I honestly adored it. I thought Order of the Phoenix was my least favorite, which it still might be my least favorite, but I don't hate it like I thought I did. I thought that I just didn't like this book. Even though I gave it like a 5 stars, I thought that I just didn't like it. But actually, I did like it, I think. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I remember reading this and I was like, wow, this book is deep and I love it. I just appreciated this book a lot more reading it again. Yes, there was nostalgia that made me enjoy it, but it was also something more, like more that I picked up on. I don't know how to explain it, but I just absolutely loved my reread of this, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. These books will always hold such a special place in my heart and on my collarbone. Clearly, I decided to permanently ink my body over the series, so of course it holds a special place in my heart. Sorry, that was a random tangent. Next, I finally read Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, which is the first book in the Infernal Devices series, which is about a girl named Tessa Gray who goes to London to meet up with her brother after her aunt dies, only to be kidnapped by these sisters who are trying to train her for an ability to be sold off to basically this ringmaster of paranormal people. And then she gets taken into this institute for shadow hunters and becomes, she takes refuge with them, and they swear to help her find her brother, and she's torn between 2 best friends, James and Will. Oh. As their search draws them deep into the heart of an arcane plot that threatens to destroy the shadow hunters, Tessa realizes that she may need to choose between saving her brother and helping her new friend save the world. I loved this. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. It's really hard to say because this was so interesting. I've never taken a great liking to Clockwork Creatures, though. I feel like I've read a couple of books that had Clockwork Creatures as like a villain in it, and I just didn't like it. I mean, this was okay, and I found it really interesting the way that she executed it, but it's still not my favorite. Really, Carrot? You had to do that now? Anyways, yeah, I think it's really hard to tell with Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices. It's just really hard. I guess I'll know more once I'm more into this series, but I really did enjoy this. Like I said, 5 out of 5 stars, and I'm really, really excited to continue. I guess we'll both take a water break then, I guess. I read Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow, which is about a girl named Charlotte Davis, who is in pieces. At 17 years old, she's already lost more than most people do in a lifetime. She is known for self-harm, intense self-harm. And yeah, she's lost a lot, and she's on bad terms with her mother. And let me go see if I can read you guys trigger warnings. As she struggles to recover and survive, 17-year-old homeless Charlie Davis cuts herself to dull the pain of abandonment and abuse. Yeah, emotional problems, cutting, self-mutilation, abandoned children, sexual abuse, homeless, social issues, physical and emotional abuse, sexual abuse, social issues, emotions and feelings. So what I will say about this book, it was a lot. It was really a lot. I expected it to be sad, but I didn't expect it to be so dark, which I guess is kind of an oxymoron, because if it's sad, it should be dark. But anyways, I just thought that this I don't know, it felt like so mature for the age group that it was in. I thought that this would more be geared towards like new adult, which I get that this was a young adult going through it, but some of the things that happened in this were just really explicit and vulgar. And it's like, I get that those things happen to girls that age, but I guess it's the way that the author wrote about it and the way that she executed it. It was just so explicit and vulgar. I was like, whoa, what genre is this again? What age group is this? And I was dead set on giving this like a low 3-star or even less than that. But honestly, the ending kind of tied it all up together. And I ended up giving this a 4 stars. I just wish that there was more of the healing process rather than running around in circles and more bad things happening to this girl. Which I get that that's how life works. You get more bad than you do good. And, but I don't know. I just felt like there were ways that this could have been executed differently. Because I really did love her newest book, How to Make Friends with the Dark. Is that what it's called? I really did enjoy that book. I thought it was really good. I just wish it would have been more like that, which I get that this is her first book, so, you know, but still. It was just, yeah. It was pretty sad, man. I'll say that. But it just didn't, it wasn't the kind that hits you hard. It's just more of like an eye-opener, I guess. I guess this would be triggering for some people, but for me, it was hard to care about Charlie because she's so disconnected from her emotions that it was kind of hard to connect with her and care about her, which sounds terrible, but that's just how it felt. Like, kind of how I felt with Sadie by Courtney Summers. The whole story itself was tragic, but the main characters, there was something lacking in the characters that made it hard to connect with them and their story and make you care about it. And I guess that's what it was. But yeah, I read this. I enjoyed it, I guess, but I probably would not reread it. Next, I finally finished and read The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. And this is a vampire novel set in New Orleans of 1872. And yeah, this girl named Celine Rousseau, I don't know. She's French. She fled her country to escape her past and start life in the new world in New Orleans. So she is staying at this, what's it called? Oh, they're taken into an Ursuline, basically a nunnery, until they find suitable husbands, basically. And things start happening, things go down. I really enjoyed this in the end. I will say that it did take me a long time to get into it. As you guys can tell by my past vlogs, I just sludged through this book and was stalling. Then I finally finished it. And in the end, I think I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Once I got into it, I was very into it. Selene and Bastian. I love them. I just love Bastian so much. And I'm really excited to see what we have coming for The Damned. And I think that comes out in June, which I thought comes out in September, but I was sorely mistaken. It's Blood and Honey that comes out in September. And I have like 3 book boxes coming for Blood and Honey, so look for an unboxing of those, I guess. And then we have Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince by J.K. Rowling, which I just finished yesterday. Yes, this was a reread for me, and I absolutely freaking adored this reread. Like I said, I've only read books 1, 2, 3, and 4 multiple times, but 5, 6, and 7, I had never taken the time to reread them. But with my reread, I just love them so much. This one in particular, I really had a newfound, I guess not newfound, because I always liked this book, but I guess it just reminded me how much I actually did like this book. Because it gets so dark, and it's just, you can feel the heaviness setting in when they stop becoming kids and they start becoming adults that put others before themselves, and they think about the bigger picture. And yes, it is depressing and dark and sad, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know how to explain it, but the death scene and the funeral in this was so good. My heart, it hurt a little bit, honestly. So yeah, like I said, the series is always going to have a permanent place in my heart or on a different part of my body. But I really loved this, and I'm very, very, very excited to do my reread of The Deathly Hallows, because I think I'm going to absolutely adore it. Next, we have The Conference of the Birds by Ransom Riggs, which is book 5 in the Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children series. I gave Half-Blood Prince 5 out of 5 stars, by the way. Carrot, can you not? This is book 5 in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, and I feel like the second half of this Miss Peregrine series is so good. I don't know what it is, but something about it is just, I'm just loving it. I don't know if it's because the Peculiars and the children, or can you tell how tired I am? If the Imbrins and the Peculiars are working together, if that's what's making this so good to me, or if it's because the Peculiars are aging, so they're more mature, it's less children, and they're more... Savannah, you stop walking in front of the camera. You animals are going to be the death of me in this channel, I swear to God. I don't know what it is, but this series I've just been loving. The adventure is so good. The risks are higher if you walk in front of that camera. Again, the risks are higher, and I just think that the plot is so good. And the plot is so good, and I just thoroughly enjoyed this, and I can't wait for the last book. See, all my series are ending. Truly tragic. I gave that a 5 out of 5 stars as well. And then finally, we have a book that I have not quite finished, but I'm finishing it after I'm done with this video, and that is Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. And yeah, Danielle and I decided to reread Twilight, because Danielle has never read Twilight before, and I told her, I'm making you read this, you have to read Twilight. And she's like, well, if I have to suffer, then you have to suffer with me. And I'm like, done, I'll do it. And I've been thoroughly enjoying myself. I can safely say that I'm still trash for Twilight, and probably always will be. So yeah, I've been enjoying this, but yeah, I'm probably going to give this a 5 out of 5 stars, just a public service announcement. But yeah, so that is all that I read for April. Again, it's really not what I had in mind, given that I was in quarantine and had loads of opportunity to finish my whole TBR. But I didn't because I'm trash and I've fallen into a book slump. Moving on though, I'm glad that I did read what I did read, because did that sentence make any sense at all? Probably not, but I'm glad for what I did read. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below if you read any of these books and enjoyed them, or what you read in the month of April. So yeah, thank you guys for watching again, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for a new video.